Before we start, just a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. Only 2% are subscribed. At 1,000 subscribers, I'll be posting a special video. The bowl hits the sheet and the soup explodes upward. Anna flinches and grabs at her chest with both hands. Haley yanks her arm back and snaps that she should move. I am in the doorway watching my wife drown in panic. My first thought is not help her but do not slip. I am Mark and I am 49, frozen like an idiot. I know I should rush in and grab towels fast. Instead, I cling to the frame like it might hold me steady. This is the moment that will not stop replaying in my head. Not the surgery, not the hospital, just this stupid doorway. Soup spreads under my shoes and I finally move toward them. Anna tries to push herself up and her face twists in pain. Haley rolls her eyes and mutters that this is ridiculous already. Her hand is still tight around Anna's wrist, fingers pressing hard. I hear my own voice come out flat and colder than planned. Let go of her right now. My voice lands sharper than I intended and Haley jerks back. She throws her hands up like she is the one being attacked. I barely look at her, I go straight for Anna instead. Under my palm, Anna's shoulder trembles so hard I feel every shake. She whispers sorry like she spilled something at a stranger's house. I tell her it is not her fault and hear myself lie. I grab a towel and start blotting at her gown and arms. She keeps apologizing under her breath like the word might fix this. Every sorry lands on me, not on Haley, and that is what stings. Are we serious right now? I have homework due tonight. Haley's voice spikes behind me and hits every nerve I have left. I do not turn, my hands stay on Anna's arms and shoulders. You can go back to your room, I will finish cleaning here. The second I say it, I know I just picked a side. Oh my God, so now I am the monster again. She steps closer and I feel her glare on the back of my neck. I want to turn and shout and make her see her mother shaking. Instead, I count her breaths and mine like that might steady anything. It does not work and the air in the room feels heavier by the second. Anna tries to smile and says she is fine and everything is okay. Her lips twitch and the word fine drags out like she is winded. I know she is trying to protect our daughter from my temper again. Back then I still thought my temper was the main problem. It is not that big a deal, she moves too suddenly. Behind me I hear her shifting her weight like she is bored already. She taps her phone on her thigh and lets out a long breath. That tiny sound grates harder than the soup soaking through the sheet. It tells me exactly how much patience she walked in with today. Haley, remember we talked about being gentle when we help her. The word gentle sounds fake in my mouth, like a new language. She laughs without humor and asks if I want her to clap instead. I finally turn and meet her eyes and something in me slides sideways. I do not see my girl in that moment, I see a stranger judging us. I am fine, please do not fight right now. She reaches for Haley's hand and misses and her fingers close on air instead. That small miss hits me harder than any raised voice in that room. I realize how weak she still is and how much power Haley holds here. And I hate that my first instinct earlier was not to rush in. Later when I watch the recordings, this is the second I pause on. Anna's hand in the air, Haley turned half away, me caught in between. Back then, it just felt like a bad afternoon that we would forget. Now I see it as the crack that showed everything already broken. I still did not understand how far my daughter had slipped from us. Whatever, you two can handle this without me. She stomps out of the room and the floor shakes under each step. Her door slams down the hall and the sound snaps something inside me. I pretend it is just anger, but it feels colder than that already. I keep wiping at the sheet long after the soup is gone from sight. You should not push her, she is under a lot of pressure. I nod because arguing will drain her and I have already done enough damage. Inside I feel something closing, like a door I do not want to name. I kiss her forehead and promise we will be okay, and even I hear the lie. By the time I leave the room I know I will check the cameras tonight. I open the security app before I can talk myself down. Anna is finally asleep down the hall and the house feels wrong. I should be grateful for quiet, instead my thumb keeps moving. I tap the live feed from the guest room and hold my breath. The screen shows an empty bed with the time stamp from yesterday. I drag my finger across the line of recordings until noon appears. There is a tiny icon with sound on and I hit play fast. I do not know what I am hunting for, but I know I will recognize it. The camera view jumps and Haley walks into frame with a plastic tray. Her jaw is tight and her shoulders are bunched up near her ears. Anna lifts her head a little and tries to greet her with a smile. Hi. Lei sets the tray down hard enough that the frame shakes on impact. I hear it clearly now without the chaos of being in the room. You could at least try to move faster. Her words are flat, no joke in them, just annoyance that fills the air. My hand tightens on the phone until my fingers start to tingle. Anna reaches for the cup and her arm wobbles in the air. Hold it yourself, my back is killing me. Haley leans against the wall and unlocks her phone with a quick flick. She glances up only once when the straw slips and hits Anna's chin. I pause the clip and the frame freezes on my wife's face. Her mouth is partly open like she is about to apologize again. I remember walking in later and finding everything already cleaned up. Now I know I did not walk in during the worst moment. I hit play again because apparently I like torturing myself. Can you tilt me up a little? My chest feels tight. Haley sighs loud enough to fuzz the tiny speaker on my phone. You just want attention, you were fine an hour ago. I scrub forward in the recording until the lighting in the room changes. New time stamp, late afternoon, different angle as the bed shifts. Anna is alone trying to reach the side table with her fingertips. Her hand keeps falling back to the blanket like gravity doubled. She finally manages to snag the call button and presses it twice. Nothing happens, no one comes, no sound at all reaches her. I hear her whisper Haley under her breath like she is not sure. Something in me twists because I am not there and my kid is. The door opens and Haley appears again, this time with headphones on. What now? Her tone is already annoyed before she even looks. I just need help sitting up a little, my back hurts. Haley stares for a second, then checks her phone instead of moving. You cannot keep doing this every 5 minutes. Anna flinches at that and lets go of the call button completely. She tries to turn on her side by herself and winces with each shift. Haley eventually steps forward and gives a quick rough shove at her shoulder. I stop the video and scrub back to that shove 3 times. I want to tell myself it only looks rough from this angle. I zoom in until the image blurs and it still feels harsh. In the hallway in that moment, I was probably praising Haley for helping. My ears start ringing and I realize I am holding my breath again. I force a slow exhale and jump to another block of recording. The timestamp shows after midnight and the bed lamp is off. I almost skip it, then I catch movement on the bottom edge of the frame. Haley is curled in the chair with her phone lighting her face. Anna shifts on the mattress and lets out a low pained sound. Haley lowers the phone slightly and rolls her eyes toward the ceiling. Hang on, she mutters, then lifts the phone back to her ear. No, it is just my mom making those noises again. She gives this little laugh that does not reach her eyes at all. Like she thinks the person on the other end expects entertainment. I feel my jaw clench so hard my teeth knock once. Anna tries again, a bit louder this time, asking for medication. I hear the words clearly now, and they land like rocks in my stomach. Could you check the clock? It feels like it has been forever. Haley taps the pill bottle on her knee without actually opening it. You took them an hour ago, if I give you more you will overdose. The way she says overdose almost sounds proud, like she learned a new term. Anna falls quiet and I can hear her breathing through the tiny mic. I know for a fact the schedule from the doctor did not match that timeline. I get off the bed and start pacing without looking away from the screen. The part of me that wants to defend my daughter keeps throwing excuses. She is young, she is burnt out, she is scared, she is tired. None of it sits right while I watch her flick the bottle like a toy. I jump to another clip because I already know this one ends badly. Morning again, brighter light, different position for the bed rails. Anna asks for help reaching the bathroom because she feels unsteady. Give me a second, I am in the middle of something important. Important is a game on her screen, I can hear the rapid taps. Anna grips the side rail and tries to pull herself upright alone. Her legs buckle and she drops back down with a choked sound. I can see tears starting and Haley still does not stand up. Can you please just wait until Dad gets home? Those words hit me harder than anything else in that clip. Not the pain, not the stumble, but the way she wants me instead. Because I was nowhere near the house when this happened. I sit on the edge of the bed and rewind that sentence twice. My own name in her mouth sounds like a last resort there. I remember telling my boss that week everything seemed under control. Watching this now, all I see is how blind I was. I keep going because stopping would mean choosing not to know. Afternoon again, different day. Same room, same camera angle. Haley stands over the bed, mimicking the way Anna asks for help. Her voice goes high and shaky in a mean little imitation. I am just so helpless, can you bring me water, can you fix my pillow? She acts it out like a skit and then groans in fake misery. Anna laughs once out of sheer shock and then covers her mouth. Do not do that please, it sounds cruel. Cruel, seriously, you're not dying. Haley waves her hand as if she can erase the word from the air. You had surgery, people have surgery all the time and just walk around. My wife stares at the blanket like she wishes she could sink into it. I pause again and catch my reflection faintly on the dark screen. I look older than I did this morning, more like a stranger in my own house. I know somebody reading this might think I am exaggerating for drama. I promise you, if anything, I am watering it down. I hit play even though my stomach feels like a clenched fist. Anna reaches out and gently touches Haley's wrist. I really appreciate you being here, I know this is a lot. Haley stiffens and pulls away like the contact burns. Just do your exercises so you can handle things yourself again. Her voice is clipped, every word like a small shove toward the edge. She straightens the blanket with quick movements that are more angry than helpful. My wife nods and blinks fast like she is afraid to let one tear fall. I scroll further along the timeline and see more clipped icons. Little dots that each hold some moment I failed to witness. My thumb hovers over one late-night recording and trembles. I already know I am searching for a pattern, not a mistake. The next clip loads and I hear my own voice this time. I am at the door thanking Haley for staying with her mother. You are a lifesaver, I say, clear as day through the camera. On the bed, Anna looks past me with something like shame in her eyes. I want to reach through the screen and shake that version of myself. Tell him to look closer, to notice how silent the room feels. To catch the way Haley's shoulders stiffen when Anna asks for anything. Instead, I watch him walk out again and leave them like that. My phone buzzes with a low battery warning, and I ignore it. I pull the charger closer and plug in without even standing up. I am not done, that is the only thought running through my head. Somewhere on this timeline is the moment I stop forgiving her. I play one more clip with my thumb pressed hard into the glass. Haley stands near the bed, tossing a pillow from hand to hand. You cannot just lie here forever and expect me to wait on you. The word forever hits me like a cold slap through the speaker. Anna whispers something I cannot quite catch, then tries again louder. Please stop talking to me like I am a burden. For a second, Haley's face shifts like she hears herself clearly. Then her mouth flattens and she looks away, and the chance is gone. I finally close the app, but the sounds keep rolling in my head. The sighs, the little digs, the fake jokes that were never funny. I lie back and stare at the ceiling while the room spins slowly. By the time the screen goes dark, I know tomorrow will not be normal in this house. I corner her at the counter before the coffee finishes dripping. We need to talk about how you treat your mother. Haley freezes with a spoon halfway to her mouth and scoffs. If you start, I am walking out of this room. I slide my phone in front of her and unlock the screen. The camera app is already open to a frozen frame of her face. Her hand twitches toward the phone, then pulls back like it might bite. What is this? Her voice goes tight around the words. You know exactly what it is. I tap the play icon. The audio spills out, her own voice sharp and impatient. Hold it yourself, my back is killing me. Haley reaches for the volume button and I catch her wrist. Listen to it. I keep my grip light, but I do not let go. On the screen, Anna whispers for help and gets brushed off. I watch Haley's eyes, not the video, and see recognition hit. She jerks her arm free and shoves the phone across the counter. You recorded me without telling me, that is creepy as hell. She laughs once, short and angry, like she wants to bounce the sound away. This is exactly why I do not talk to you about anything. You twist everything to make yourself the hero. I pick up the phone and rewind 5 seconds with my thumb. The little bar on the screen jumps back, my chest feels tight. I point to the part where Anna flinches from Haley's shove. Explain that I keep my voice low but every word lands hard. She leans in and squints like she can find a different angle. I barely touch her, you are making it look violent. Her jaw clenches and unclenches, she taps the counter with one finger. You always look for the worst possible story about me. That is your mother begging for you to slow down. My hand trembles and I force it flat on the counter. Do you hear? Or how she sounds when she asks for medicine. Do you hear yourself when you tell her to wait? She drags both hands down her face and groans. You have no idea how often she calls my name. Every time I sit down, every time I open a book. It never stops and you are not here to hear it. The last line hits and for a second I lose my script. There's a small, ugly truth in what she just threw at me. I open my mouth to argue and nothing comes out. The silence between us stretches and she jumps into it. You get to be fun weekend caregiver, she waves toward the hallway. You show up with flowers and big sad eyes and everyone claps. I am stuck with the mess when she cries or throws up. And if I snap once, suddenly I am some cartoon villain. Part of me wants to tell her I watched more than once. That this is not about one moment but a string of them. Instead I lock my gaze on her and push again. Mocking her voice, refusing pills, leaving her without help, that is not one slip. Haley slams her palm on the counter and the spoon jumps. Stop using words like refusing, she jabs a finger toward my chest. I am not a nurse, I never signed up for this job. You both just assumed I would drop everything and handle it. You did not drop everything, I hear the edge in my own tone. You kept your classes, you kept your friends, you kept disappearing. What you did drop was basic kindness when she needed it most. Even as I say it, guilt stings because I was disappearing too. She laughs but there is no amusement in the sound at all. Basic kindness, that is rich coming from you. Her eyes shine now from rage or something else I cannot tell. Do you remember the way you used to yell when I cried? That catches me off guard and I feel my throat burn. I did raise my voice too often, no point denying that. Old scenes flash and I shove them away before they swallow this one. We are not talking about me as a young father right now. We are absolutely talking about you, she leans closer with stiff shoulders. You freaked out whenever things were hard, then vanished into work. Now you stroll back in like judge and jury, holding your little phone. You do not get to pretend you were some gentle saint. I grip the back of a chair until my fingers numb. You are right that I was not gentle enough back then. I am not proud of the times I shouted or slammed doors. But I never stood over you while you were sick and mocked you. Her lips press together, she drops her gaze to the tile. It was a joke, she mumbles, barely loud enough to catch. She always acts so fragile, like she will break if you breathe wrong. Sometimes I need to blow off steam or I will completely lose it. You blow off steam on her body, I hear my volume rise. On her pain, on her fear, on the fact that she cannot even climb stairs. You want to scream, scream at me, not at the woman who just got cut open. My voice actually echoes, and that realization makes my gut twist. Her eyes flash upward, and now there is pure resentment there. I am not your punching bag just because you feel guilty. You ignored both of us for years, do not pretend otherwise. Suddenly you watch a few clips and now you care. I want to argue that I always cared, even while doing a terrible job. The words lodge behind my teeth, heavy and clumsy and useless. She is not wrong about my absences, she is just weaponizing them. That mix is brutal because I cannot fully deny any of it. You know what? She pushes away from the counter with sudden force. If you think I am such a danger, fire me. Hire someone to sit with her, schedule your whole life around it. Do not stand here pretending this is about, I do not know manners. This is not customer service, this is your own mother. I step between her and the doorway without planning to move. If you stay in this house, you will change how you speak to her. No more sarcasm, no more jokes about her needing attention. Her laugh now is sharp and almost wild, it cuts into me. If I stay, she repeats, like it is a brand new threat. So those are my options, right? Be perfect or get out. You cannot control me by dangling rent over my head. My jaw tightens and I know I make a mistake next. If you keep hurting her, I will cut you off. The sentence comes out too fast, too flat, too final. The look on her face tells me I just crossed some line. There it is, she whispers, hands shaking slightly at her sides. That is the real you, not the guy holding soup and towels. You love control, not people, and you finally said it out loud. She brushes past me and almost knocks my shoulder out of alignment. I catch her wrist again, softer this time, and she yanks away. For a blink I am back in old fights, towering and loud. I hear my own breathing short, and I know she remembers too. That is when Anna's voice drifts in from down the hallway. Is everything okay? She sounds weak but alert, like she is bracing. We both freeze, then answer at the same time with different words. Yeah, it is fine. No, it is not. The two lines collide. Silence follows, thick and waiting, and I hate that she hears this. Haley drags both hands through her hair and exhales hard. I am going out. She reaches for her keys with jerky movements. Do not worry, I will be back in time to tuck the invalid in. The phrase makes my blood roar, and I move without thinking. Enough, I slam my hand down so hard the keys jump. You never call her that again, not in my house. I do not shout, but the room feels smaller with the words. She stares at me like she is measuring exactly how far to push. You really think this is just about her? She lowers her voice. You two built this whole world where I am the reliable one. Then you act shocked when I am angry about being stuck here. What did you expect? Some grateful halo while I wipe sweat. I open my mouth and close it again because she is not entirely wrong. That might be the worst part, how truth and cruelty mix together. My chest hurts in a way that is not about lungs or ribs. I realize there is no version of this talk that ends clean. Go cool off, I finally manage, my hand still flat on the counter. We are finishing this conversation, I am not letting it disappear. Her eyes flick toward the hallway like she hears Anna breathing there. When she looks back at me, something in her expression has hardened. Do not worry, you will get your perfect devoted caregiver back. She grabs her bag and slings it over one shoulder with a sharp motion. Maybe she will even thank you for saving her from me. She walks out, and the front door closing feels like a verdict. I stand there with my phone in my hand and my heart pounding. Part of me wants to run after her and drag her back. Another part wants to lock the door and never hear that tone again. I stay rooted, replaying every word, knowing this is only the beginning. Anna grips my sleeve when I reach for my keys. You should go, she whispers, you have missed enough days. Her fingers barely close around my arm, but she forces a smile. I tell her I can call in again, my throat already dry. She shakes her head and insists she will be fine with Haley. That word fine has become our favorite lie. Haley leans in the doorway, arms folded tight across her chest. I catch her eye and feel my stomach twist, remembering those recordings. You will check on her every hour, I ask, not really asking. She shrugs and says of course, like I just insulted her. The doctor warned us about sudden drops in blood pressure after surgery. I hear his voice in my head as I look at the pill bottles. I start lining them up again until Anna sighs and covers my hand. You double-checked already, she murmurs, go before your boss loses it. She is joking, but her breath catches and ruins the joke halfway through. I lean down and kiss her forehead, trying not to show my panic. Call me if anything feels wrong, even a little, I tell her. She nods and promises, then glances past me toward the hallway. Make him go, she tells Haley, he is hovering like a helicopter. I laugh once short and wrong because I know why I am hovering. In the driveway, I text Haley the pain schedule again. Send me a picture after each dose just so I know. 3 dots appear, vanish, then her reply pops up. Relax, I got it, enjoy being useful for once. I stare at the words and tell myself she is only joking. The drive is a blur of red lights and half-thoughts. Every time my phone buzzes, I nearly jerk the wheel. It is never home, just useless alerts and random messages. I still reach for the phone like a dog hearing a can opener. By the time I park at work, my shoulders feel carved from stone. At my desk, I place the phone screen up within arm's reach. I open the security app, thumb hovering over the guest room feed. One tap and I could see everything again, every sound and flinch. Instead, I lock the screen and stuff the phone in a drawer. I tell myself trust has to start somewhere, even if it kills me. Coworkers drift past and toss small comments about meetings and numbers. Their voices sound far away, like I am underwater listening through glass. Someone asks about Anna, and I answer automatic that she is improving. I leave out the part where my daughter joked about being her prison guard. I stare at the empty conference room and consider going home anyway. Hours crawl, my eyes keep flicking to the clock over the door. I cave and pull the drawer open, grabbing the phone too quickly. No calls, no texts, nothing from either of them. The total silence lands heavier than any emergency alert would. My brain starts listing everything that can go wrong with a weak heart. I step into the hallway and finally open the camera app. The last clip is from early morning, me carrying a breakfast tray. The live view tries to load, then spins and freezes. Weak signal, it tells me, like that explains anything important. I cancel the app. Yet now my nerves are buzzing like exposed wire. For once I listen to that ugly little instinct. I walk straight into my manager's office and announce I need to leave. He starts to ask questions and stops when he sees my expression. Text me updates, he says, already turning back to his computer. I am grateful and angry in the same breath, then I am moving. The ride home feels twice as long as the morning. Every car in front of me moves like it has nowhere urgent to be. I keep tapping the steering wheel in a rhythm that speeds up. I picture Anna in bed, trying not to bother anyone, asking Haley softly. The images in my head are probably gentler than reality, and I know it. I pull into the driveway fast enough to scrape the curb. The house stands completely still, no music, no television, nothing. For a moment I hope they are both asleep and everything is okay. Then I hear a faint sound, a thin voice from somewhere inside. My keys slip in the lock twice before it finally turns. Anna, I call out as I push the door open. No answer, just the ticking of something in the kitchen. I move through the hallway, shoes hitting the floor too loud. A soft thud reaches me from further back, then a strained whisper. By the time I identify it as my name, my pulse is hammering. The bathroom door is pulled almost shut, only a small gap left. Water hums faintly, and there is a scraping noise I cannot place. I push the door with my palm and it opens just enough. Anna lies on the tiles, hair damp, hospital shirt twisted around her. One leg is folded under her body, at a bad angle that steals my breath. Her eyes dart toward me, wide and unfocused, lips moving without sound. I drop to my knees so fast the impact jolts up my spine. Her hand gropes in the air until I guide it to my arm. I am sorry, she rasps, I thought I could make it alone. The word alone spikes through me harder than anything else in that moment. I check her breathing, quick and shallow, chest straining against the bandages. One of the surgical drains has shifted and hangs crooked against her. The floor beneath her is wet, cold, and slick under my palm. I hit the faucet handle off and grab a towel from the rack. My voice comes out rough as I ask how long she has been there. Not long, she whispers, which means absolutely nothing helpful. I can see the tremor in her arms from trying to push up. I slide one arm behind her back and the other under her knees. Her head falls against my shoulder and she lets out a low sound. This lift feels heavier than anything I have carried in my life. Halfway through turning her, I hear laughter drift from down the hall. Not a nervous chuckle, not relief, just bright social laughter. I freeze midway between floor and doorway, muscles screaming. The sound keeps going, broken up by short, excited sentences. It takes me a second to realize it is Haley on the phone. I grip my teeth and finish getting Anna onto the nearest bench. Stay with me, I murmur, even though her eyes are already closing. I grab my cell from my pocket and dial the surgeon's office. While it rings, Haley's voice carries clearly through the thin wall. I hear my own wife's recovery reduced to a punchline. I am not doing this nurse thing much longer, Haley says somewhere nearby. She laughs again and adds that she will lose her mind if it continues. The phrase "you would not believe how dramatic she gets" floats over. The person on the other end laughs, and something inside me goes cold. The call to the office clicks through and drags me back. I walk Anna carefully toward the bed while the nurse gives instructions. Check her blood pressure, watch for confusion, bring her in if needed. My hand shakes as I wrap the cuff around Anna's arm anyway. Her numbers look rough, but the nurse thinks we can stabilize here. I hang up with a promise to call back if she worsens, fingers trembling. Haley finally appears in the doorway, phone still in her hand. What happened, she asks, eyes taking in the scene without much urgency. She leans against the frame and taps her screen with her thumb. I stare at her standing dry and relaxed while my wife shivers on the mattress. The contrast hits me like a punch I never see coming. She slipped, I answer, my voice coming out lower than I expect. Where were you, I add, not hiding the accusation this time. Haley shrugs and lifts the phone slightly as if that explains everything. I was talking to someone, I did not hear anything, she claims. Anna flinches at that lie, just a tiny twitch, but I catch it. I tuck the blanket around Anna and lower my voice for her. Give us a minute, please, I will handle the rest, I murmur. She nods faintly, closes her eyes, and grips my hand tighter. I ease my fingers free and step away from the bed. By the time I reach the hall, my patience is gone. I follow Haley's retreating figure into the next room. She tosses her phone on the dresser and folds her arm. Again. You cannot blame me because she refuses to ask for help, she starts. She knew I was busy, but she always wants things right away. Her words come quick, rehearsed, like she has told herself this story often. I pick up her phone before she can snatch it back. The screen is still on her chat with a friend. At the top I read one fresh line that makes my chest burn. If she falls, maybe they will finally hire a real nurse. Below it, a laughing emoji clusters with a string of similar ones. I hold the phone up between us, my hand steady now. Is this what you were hoping for? I ask quietly. Somebody else to take over so you can get back to your life. Her face drains of color, then hardens into defiance in one heartbeat. She reaches for the phone and I pull it just out of range. You are twisting that, she says, voice climbing higher with each word. You do not understand how exhausting this is, how trapped I feel. I open my mouth and she barrels on, not giving me space. You left me here with her, and now you are shocked I am angry. Her eyes shine, but the tears do not fall, they just sit there. I think about the floor, the wet tiles, the stupid little drain. I picture Anna lying there, whispering my name into empty air. Then I look at my daughter, solid and healthy, arguing about feeling stuck. Something inside me starts closing like a door that has rusted on its hinges. I know in that instant that whatever breaks now will not mend easily. I put the phone down gently on the dresser, screen still lit. You were not trapped, I tell her, you were trusted. There is a huge difference between those two, and you knew it. She shakes her head like I am speaking another language completely. Then she mutters that nobody ever cares how she feels in this house. I want to yell that I have been caring all week in my own twisted way. Tracking her words, watching her body language, replaying clips at midnight. Instead, I glance toward the hallway where Anna lies trying not to listen. This is the moment I realize where I choose who I am protecting. I let the anger burn clean right through the soft part of me. From now on, you do not touch your mother without me nearby. The sentence leaves my mouth before I even plan it. Her head snaps back like I slapped her and she lets out a bitter laugh. So I am some kind of threat now, she throws her arms wide. I do not answer because the truth is sitting between us already. I walk back toward the bedroom without waiting for her next argument. Each step feels heavier, but my thoughts are suddenly sharp. I sit on the edge of the mattress and take Anna's hand again. She opens her eyes and studies my face for a long second. Whatever she sees there makes her look away, like it hurts to hold my gaze. Later I will say the real break happened in another chapter. Some lawyer will probably call that night the start of the end. But standing in that tiny room, listening to my child laugh about a fall, I feel something important slide out of reach and refuse to come back. I stay there with my wife, and for the first time, I feel nothing warm at all when I hear my daughter's footsteps in the hall. I read the message out loud while she stands in the doorway. If she falls again, maybe they will finally get someone trained. My voice shakes on that last word, and it is not from pity. Haley's backpack hangs from one shoulder, keys hooked on her finger. She looks like she is ready for class, not an eviction. You went through my phone again. She drops the keys on the table with a sharp clatter. That is actually insane, you realize that, right? She does not look at the bed, does not look at her mother. Her eyes stay locked on me like this is only between us. I tilt the screen so she cannot pretend she misread it. You said you were done playing nurse and needed to escape. Another line, another little knife I did not know about before. You said she acts helpless to keep us chained here. The word chain tastes like metal in my mouth. Haley drags in a breath and steadies herself on the chair. People rant in texts, it does not mean anything real. You are acting like I pushed her down on purpose. Her throat flexes as she swallows whatever else she wants to throw. I stare at her hands, empty and spotless, and feel my jaw tighten. She is lying in there bruised because you were not watching. I keep my tone flat, quieter than earlier, and that scares her more. You were on the phone making jokes about how miserable this is. You heard something, you had to hear something, the bathroom is right there. Anna shifts behind me and lets out a low sound that tightens the air. Haley finally glances past me toward the bed. Mom, I did not know you fell. Her voice softens on the last word. Anna lifts one hand and then lets it drop again, exhausted already. I was on the floor a while, she whispers, but I did not want to bother anyone. That last line lands exactly we. Ray, I knew it would. I turn back to Haley before she can spin it. You did not want to bother anyone, I repeat slowly. I heard you through the wall laughing about being tired of her. That is not burnout, that is cruelty, and you know it. She flinches like I slapped her, then straightens her shoulders. You left us alone, and now you need a villain. Her eyes glisten but her jaw never loosens. You had years to learn how to be present, and you did not. Now you are punishing me because you woke up late to this. She folds her arms, building armor out of bone and stubbornness. Maybe she is right about my timing, but I do not care. There is a difference between absent and actively harmful, and she crossed it. I nod once more to myself than to her, decision clicking into place. All right, I say, here is what is going to happen. Her fingers uncurl at her sides like she feels a storm coming. You will pack tonight and move out by tomorrow. The words are simple, but they hollow something in my chest. Her mouth falls open, then snaps shut like she is biting down on panic. You are kicking me out because I am not perfect. She laughs once, high and shaky, like she can scare the words away. I am asking you to leave because you are dangerous to her. I keep my gaze steady so she understands this is not a bluff. You talk about her like she is luggage, you ignore her when she begs. I cannot have that under the same roof as her recovery. Every sentence feels like dropping a brick between us. So what, I'm just cut off now? She gestures around as if the walls might defend her. You expect me to what, drop out and live under a bridge? Her voice cracks on bridge and suddenly she sounds younger again. If I did not know those messages existed, I might fold. I walk to the dresser and pull open the top drawer. Her spare debit card lies inside, the one tied to my account. I place it on the table between us like evidence. That card stops working tonight, I tell her, and you know why. She takes one step forward, then stops herself with a jerk. You would actually do that to your own kid. Her voice goes quiet now, almost stunned. You would rather pay a stranger than help me finish school. There is a tiny pause after school that feels like bait. I refuse to touch it. I will pay someone who will not torment my wife while she heals. My hands shake but my words do not. Tomorrow I am calling the school to pause tuition payments. They can hold your spot while you figure out work and housing. I can hear my own heartbeat in my ears as I say it. She laughs again, but it comes out broken this time. You are unbelievable, you really are, you know that. She wipes under her eyes with the heel of her hand. You were a disaster parent half my life, then this is the line. Her disbelief almost sounds like grief. I wish I had been better then, I admit, and the truth stings. I yelled too often, I disappeared into my job, I missed things. I will spend the rest of my days regretting that. But I am not going to watch you break her in front of me. She stares like she did not expect me to own any of it. From the bed, Anna whispers my name like a warning. I glance over and she is shaking her head, eyes wet. Please do not push her away, she murmurs, her voice barely there. We can get her help, we can fix this, we just need time. I hear the plea in every word and feel it twist something tender. I want to listen to my wife, I truly do. I want to believe in some soft version where we all heal. Then I remember the texts on the screen, the bathroom floor. I remember Haley's voice imitating that whisper in the guest room. Whatever softness I had left for my daughter does not answer. Haley hears her mother and grabs onto it fast. Mom does not want me gone, she points out, stepping closer to the bed. You are choosing to do this is all you. She lays a hand on the blanket near Anna's knee. Anna's leg twitches, almost like she wants to pull away and cannot. I move around to the other side of the bed between them. This is not up for debate, I tell her, and the air drops. You can come back when you are willing to treat her with basic care. Until then, I am done subsidizing the version of you who hurts her. Saying it out loud feels like closing a door on my own chest. She backs away a few steps, then snatches the card off the table. Fine, she mutters, then louder, fine, I will figure it out. Do not pretend you will miss me when I am gone. She looks straight at me and waits for something on my face to crack. Nothing moves. I wish I could say I felt righteous in that moment. I wish I could say I was above every petty jab from her. The truth is uglier, and that is why I am writing this. Standing there watching her gather herself, I did not feel hate. I felt nothing at all. She storms down the hall and her door flies open and slams. Drawers scrape, hangers clatter, the sound of hasty packing fills the house. Anna G. rips my wrist so tight it almost hurts. Please talk to her, she whispers, please do not let her leave like this. Tears leak from the corners of her eyes and soak into the pillow. I sit on the edge of the mattress and rest my forehead on our joined hands. I tell her, I know it feels like we are cutting a limb. Maybe I am making the wrong decision and years from now, I will drown in regret. Right now I cannot risk you ending up on a cold floor again. Her shoulders shake once quiet like she is trying not to scream. You are angry, she says after a while, and anger lies. When this settles, you will wish you handled it differently. She turns her head toward the window and blinks hard. She is still our child, even if she is lost right now. The word "our" hits me in a place that used to be soft. I stand up because if I stay I will cave. I tell Anna I am going to make some calls before it gets late. In the hallway I pull my phone out and start dialing. First the bank, then the school office, one practical step after another. My hands move on autopilot while my stomach rolls. By the time I finish, the house has gone strangely quiet. I walk toward Haley's room and knock once, then open the door. Half her things are in bags by the wall, the rest scattered. She is sitting on the bed clutching a sweatshirt, cheeks streaked. She wipes her face fast and stares at me like I am a stranger. I lean against the frame because my legs do not trust me. If you need a week, I can cover a motel, I offer. After that you are on your own and you know why. I am trying to keep my voice level, not cold, not kind. She lets out a short laugh that sounds nothing like humor. Keep your guilt money, she snaps, I am not your charity case. She shoves clothes into the last bag without folding anything. You picked your side, remember, you do not get to soften it now. Every zip of the bag cuts through the room like a closing grip. I want to step forward and I stay exactly where I am. She pauses at the closet and stares at the photos taped there. Her hand hovers over one of us at some long-forgotten game. For a second I swear I see the kid she used to be. Then her fingers curl and she rips the picture down and crumples it. The ball of paper hits the trash can and bounces off the rim. When are you going? I ask quietly because someone has to. Tonight, she answers, lifting the bag with a small grunt. I will crash at a friend's place until I find something else. She steps past me, shoulder brushing mine, and I smell her shampoo. That tiny familiar detail hurts more than any insult. We reach the front door and she fumbles with the handle. For a heartbeat I consider pulling her into a hug. Telling her I love her even now, even through this mess. The words come up, hit something solid and die in my throat. She opens the door herself and looks back over her shoulder. You will regret this, she says, not as a threat, just a fact. Her eyes are red, her face blotchy, but her posture stays proud. She waits for me to deny it, to rush in with a promise. I do not give her one, that is the part that haunts me. She walks out and the sound of the door closing feels final. That night I sit at the table with a stack of forms. Insurance paperwork, medical notes, numbers I barely track. I email a home care agency and schedule an assessment for the week. I send a message to a lawyer about updating documents I never questioned before. Every click confirms who I chose. In the bedroom, Anna turns toward the empty doorway every few minutes. I hear her murmur our daughter's name in her sleep. I do not get up, I stay put and stare at the ceiling. I tell myself I did this to keep her safe, and maybe that is partly true. It does not change the new fact sitting in the middle of my chest. When I think of Haley now, there is no rush of affection. No instinct to check if she ate, no urge to text goodnight. There is just a blank space where something huge used to live. Honestly, that scares me more than any fight we have ever had. So here I am, asking strangers if there is any road back from choosing to stop loving your own child.